Anxiety isn't polite enough to knock before barging in. It just shatters your door. You might be sitting quietly in your apartment, minding your own business, doing nothing wrong, and suddenly your heart starts pounding like crazy, your chest feels tight, and your thoughts are screaming as if the world's coming apart at the seams. But the weird part, nothing's actually happening. Nobody sees it. You're suffering silently in the background, trying to hide the internal storm. That's the reality with anxiety. It's invisible to everyone else, but inside, it feels like it's ripping you apart from within. And while you're expected to keep smiling, act normal, go to work, reply to messages, and act like everything's fine beneath the surface, you're barely holding on, drowning in your own head. Have you ever stayed awake at night replaying some minor thing you said over 10 days ago, or overanalyzed a simple two-word text message for hours, as if it contains the secret to life? Believe me, that's not craziness. That's your nervous system being hijacked by thoughts you didn't even choose. The truth is, no one ever taught us how to deal with this. There's no manual for staying calm in a world that makes money off your fear. They told us to be strong, to man up, to just relax. But what if I told you that 2,000 years ago, people faced the same battles? They didn't have smartphones, but they had something even scarier: war, exile, betrayal, loss, chaos, and yet they still found peace. This was the power of Stoicism, not the fake kind that tells you to feel nothing, but the real kind that shows you how to master your emotions without letting them ruin you. This isn't some self-help fluff about breathing or manifesting peace. This is about mental warfare, building an unshakable mind amidst a world that constantly tries to shake you. If you've been stuck looping inside your own head, overthinking every little thing, waking up feeling dread in your chest, then keep watching, because what you need isn't just more positivity. You need clarity. You need control over your own thoughts. You need what Marcus Aurelius worked on daily while leading Rome through plagues and wars. He once said, "Today I escaped from anxiety." Or rather, he discarded it because he understood it wasn't outside of him but within his own perceptions. Let that sink in. Anxiety doesn't come from life itself. It comes from how you process life. So that means you can fight it. All you need is a new lens. You don't need a new life. You need a new way to see it. In this video, I'll walk you through 5 unbreakable Stoic laws to beat anxiety and take control of your inner world, step by step. No promises about quick fixes or spiritual mumbo-jumbo, just raw mental clarity. Because if you keep waiting for the chaos in the world to settle, you'll be waiting forever. The only thing truly in your power is your own mind, the one thing you've been handing over every day to fear, guilt, comparison, and all those unhelpful thoughts. But that changes starting now. Here's what I want you to do right now. Like this video if you're tired of being owned by your own thoughts. Drop a comment below and tell me you already feeling this. Subscribe to this channel because we're all about mastering the mind, not just chasing fleeting motivation. And share this with someone who needs to turn inward and reconnect with themselves. You're not too broken. You're not beyond help. You're just caught in a loop, and no one taught you how to escape until now. These Stoic laws won't just help you cope, they'll help you transform. You'll learn how to sit with chaos and stay calm, how to observe your thoughts without obeying them, and how to stop being bullied by your own mind if you truly listen, not just with your ears but with your whole being. This marks the beginning of you reclaiming your peace and never giving it away again. Drop a comment below if you're ready for battle. I am no longer a prisoner of my thoughts, I am training for peace. Okay, let's get to law number 1. See the storm but stay still inside. Let's clear this up. Anxiety doesn't need a reason. It appears even when everything seems fine. You could be sitting in your car, nothing's wrong, no one's calling, and suddenly boom, your heart races, your jaw clenches, your mind won't shut up. Your body feels like it's ready to bolt even though there's nowhere to run. That's what makes it so frightening. Most people panic when it hits. They try to distract themselves, numb it out, escape it. But here's what the Stoics understood. You can't outrun the storm. You have to simply outlast it, because the storm isn't outside, you carry it inside your mind. Until you face it directly, it controls you. Marcus Aurelius, an emperor who bore the weight of the world, wisely wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Recognize this and you'll find strength." This isn't about just thinking positively. It's about confronting the storm inside your head without letting it move you. So, what really happens when anxiety strikes? Most people fight itercist, tell themselves to stop thinking this way, resist and resist. But that's like yelling at a fire to go out, only fanning the flames. The Stoics had a different approach. They observed it, didn't judge it, didn't push it away. They saw anxiety as weather, temporary, not defining you, not personal. When you start viewing your anxiety this way, as something passing through rather than as part of who you are, you stop reacting as if it's the end of everything. It's just a signal to your body saying, hey, something feels unsafe. Can we pause for a moment? And when you pause, you don't react impulsively or feed into the fear pour emerges. You create space. That space, stillness, where real power lives. Not in reacting to every fear or trying to fix every imagined problem, but in staying rooted even when your mind wants to run. It's like this. There's the storm around you, and then there's the eye of the storm, calm, peaceful, dead quiet at the center. Your job is to become that eye. That's law one. Don't become the storm, become the stillness inside it. How? Start simple. Whenever anxiety creeps in, pause, don't react, don't scroll or numb out, just breathe. And silently say to yourself, this is just a thought. This is just a feeling. It's passing through, not mine to obey. This is a proven Stoic technique called cognitive detachment. You're not your thoughts, you're the watcher of them. Seneca, who endured exile and chaos himself, said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's it. Most of what makes us anxious never actually happens. It's our mind, rehearsing disasters that may never come. The Stoics knew a vital truth. The real battle isn't with the outside world, but with how your mind interprets it. When you cultivate the habit of observing instead of reacting, you reclaim your power thought by thought. It's like training a wild horse. At first it bucks and resists, but if you stay calm and don't feed its fears, it eventually calms down. Your anxiety is the same. Next time your heart races or your thoughts spiral, don't fight it, don't run. Sit, breathe, watch like a meditator, like a lion resting quietly amid chaos. That's the essence of Stoicism. You don't need to remove the storm. You need to become unshakable amid it. That calm isn't passive, it's power. Your world can spin, your schedule can crumble, others can betray you, all the chaos around doesn't have to shake your inner peace. That's law one. Practice this even 10% of the time and you'll live so differently from most people, free from fear, rooted in your own strength. Drop in the comments if you feel it. I am not the storm, I am the calm inside it. Now, law 2. Let go of what you can't control. Here's one of the quickest ways to wreck your peace. Try to control what's never been yours to command. Think about the majority of your anxiety, how much of it is fueled by things outside your power. What others think of you, whether they reply to your text, if your boss recognizes your effort, whether you'll succeed in 5 years, or if the world will stay stable. You keep trying to fix everything, predict outcomes, be 5 steps ahead of the worst-case scenario. But here's the truth the Stoics offer. Freedom isn't about controlling the uncontrollable, it's about ignoring it. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said it plainly. The key to freedom is disregarding things that are outside of our control. Most of your anxiety isn't just fear. It's the futile effort to manage what's beyond your reach, people who have already left your life, a future that's uncertain, the chaos of the external world. You push and pull, exhausting yourself, but all you're doing is burning out. You obsess over outcomes you can't change, and in so doing, you forget the one thing you actually can control: your mind. The Stoics flipped the script. They asked instead, what can I actually control? The answer is straightforward. Your thoughts, your attitude, your reactions, your responses. That's all. Not the weather, not what someone else thinks, not the past, not whether they love you. Accepting this is tough, because it means surrendering illusions. But here's the paradox. The more you surrender what isn't yours to command, the more power you gain. Letting go isn't weakness, it's strategic energy conservation. Imagine carrying two backpacks, one filled with your thoughts, responses, actions, and the other loaded with everyone else's opinions, the future, old mistakes, things you can't change. Which one are you carrying? Most people carry both. No wonder they're exhausted. But the Stoics only carried the first. That's why Marcus Aurelius would start each day reminding himself, you may not control what happens around you, but you control how you meet it. That's law 2. Let go of what's outside your control and master what remains within. If someone ghosts you, that's outside your control. How you respond, that's yours. If you fail at something, out of your hands. But if you keep showing up and trying again, that's in your power. If people talk behind your back, you can't stop that, but you can carry yourself with dignity and stay focused on your path. The Stoic doesn't argue with the winthy, adjust their sails. And when you do that, you reclaim your strength. You stop bleeding emotionally over things that were never truly yours. You stop letting your day collapse because someone didn't meet your expectations. It's not quitting, it's freeing yourself to focus only on what matters. And here's the benefit. If you start practicing this even just 10% of the time, your mind will become lighter. You won't be begging life to be fair. You won't be crushed by others' opinions. You'll stay grounded even amid chaos. That's how you beat anxiety, not by avoiding problems, but by focusing only on what you can control. It's not the size of the problem that destroys you, but how much of your mind you give to it. So next time anxiety starts creeping, ask yourself, am I trying to control something that isn't mine? If yes, breathe, let it go, and come back to yourself. Your peace is way too precious to waste on things you're never meant to carry. You'll be amazed how much calmer life becomes when you simply let people be who they are, let situations unfold, and keep your focus on your own lane. That's the true Stoic move, controlling only yourself, so well that the rest of the world starts losing its grip on your inner peace. Drop a comment if you're ready to claim this mindset. I release what isn't mine to control. I choose peace. Number 3, create quiet routines in a noisy world. You know what wears down your peace the most? Noise from outside, noise of traffic, notifications, endless content consumption, to that relentless mental chatter inside your head. The what I didn't do today, what I should have said, how I looked, whether I'm enough, if I'll ever be free, it never stops, does it? From the moment you wake up, the world assaults your senses. Before you even get out of bed, your phone's pulling your attention. Your nervous system's already on high alert, and you haven't even had breakfast. We live in a culture that glorifies constant movement, more work, more hustle, more stimulation. But what if I told you peace isn't something you accidentally stumble upon? It's something you deliberately create. That's what the Stoics did. They didn't just hope for peace. They scheduled it, made space for silence and stillness every day, even as busy as their lives were. Marcus Aurelius, for example, carved out time for journaling each morning. Not because he had plenty of time, but because he understood that without quiet, the mind deteriorates. He wrote, people seek retreats in the mountains, the sea, the countryside. But you can retreat into yourself anytime. Let that land. You don't need to fly to Bali or escape your life, just carve out sacred moments where the world doesn't intrude. Without those moments, the chaos owns you. This is where Law 3 comes in. Build quiet rituals in a loud world, or be overwhelmed by its noise. When I say ritual, I don't mean some Instagram-worthy morning routine with matcha and scented candles. I mean a small, simple, private act of stillness, a daily reminder to your mind who's in charge. Here's how. Step 1. Claim the first 10 minutes before anyone messages you, before the news screams at you, before your social feeds decide your mood. Just sit with yourself, no scrolling, no noise, just silence. Write a little, stretch a little, or simply sit still and focus on your breath. Doesn't matter what you do. What matters is your intention. This is your time to return to yourself before the world takes from you. That small act grounds you, sends a message to your nervous system. We're safe. We're in control. There's no rush. Second, create a digital off switch. Seriously, you don't need to be online all day. Who told us that? That we have to be constantly available. That's mental slavery dressed up as connection. The Stoics would have laughed at this. They chose voluntary discomfort time alone, silence, separation from the crowd, and you need to do the same. Pick a set time to turn everything off. Airplane mode, screen away, headphones out. Even just 30 minutes without input at night can do wonders. Sleep better, think clearer, reconnect with yourself. Third, anchor a reset ritual in the middle of your day. Life gets heavy, tension builds, stress piles up. That's why the Stoics believed in taking mental pauses multiple times daily. Marcus Aurelius would pause during battles to breathe and reflect. You don't have to wait for peace, bring it with you. Just one moment, step outside, close your eyes, feel the wind, say nothing, no goals, no productivity needed, just a fresh mental reset. It says to your mind, I am not my stress. I am more than my roles. I am still here. That's real Stoic strength, embracing chaos but staying rooted in peace. If you don't develop these silence rituals, your anxiety will fill that void with panic, the overthinking, doom scrolling, emotional burnout. That's all just your mind's way of avoiding itself. But from now on, make sacred space for yourself, spaces not of escape, but of return. Return to clarity, return to stillness, return to the part of you that never needed noise in the first place. Drop a comment if you're making this shift today. I protect my peace. Silence is my power. Number 4, pick stillness over reaction. When someone says something that cuts deep, when your phone buzzes with bad news, or your thoughts spiral into worst-case scenarios, what do you usually do? Most of us react immediately. Anger, panic, overthinking, all flooding in almost uncontrollably, and then, often, regret follows. That's reaction, the mind on autopilot. It's the same story playing in your head, just louder and faster. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, told us it like this: it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. That's not just a catchy line, it's a battle cry against chaos. You can't control what hits you, but you can control what you do next. The gap between stimulus and response, at that tiny pause, is where your power resides. Think about this. Someone cuts you off in traffic. What's your first instinct? Honk, curse, yell? Or do you take a breath, remind yourself they might be rushing for their own reason, and just move on? When a text triggers old insecurities, do you spiral or pause, notice the feeling, and refuse to feed it? That pause, that moment of stillness, is your fortress, your shield against chaos. But here's what most people don't understand. Choosing stillness over reaction is hard. Your brain's wired for quick reaction, survival mode, built to fight or flee. Anxiety hijacks that wiring, but you can reprogram it. The key is awareness. The next time you feel anxiety bubbling up, stop. Look inward. Ask, what is this feeling really telling me? Is this reaction helping or hurting me? Most reactions are just old storage habits, not truth, things you've been telling yourself for years. When you name your emotions, I feel angry, I feel scared, you bring dark shadows into the light. You observe rather than blindly act. That's where real power begins, being the master of your mind, not its victim. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, if you're distressed by anything external, your pain is not due to the thing itself, but your judgment of it. You have the power to revoke that judgment at any moment. That's freedom, creating a mental space between what happens and how you respond. And it's through this space that anxiety begins to weaken. Anxiety thrives on reaction. Get angry, get afraid, get overwhelmed, and it grows stronger. But when you choose stillness, when you pause, it starves that beast. This isn't about suppressing emotions. It's about mastering them. Feeling is okay, but don't let feelings steer your life. You're in the driver's seat. So before reacting next time, take a breath. Count to 3. Ask yourself, is this reaction helping me? Is this feeling based on truth or fear? If it's fear, then let it go. Choose peace instead. Drop in the comments if you're ready to take command of your responses. I am the master of my reactions. Finally, number 5, turn pain into presence. Pain and anxiety often arrive uninvited, dragging you to dark places and making you think they're enemies. But the Stoics offer a radical perspective. The obstacle itself, the block to your progress, is also the way forward. Marcus Aurelius said it plainly: the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Your pain isn't just an enemy, it's part of your journey. When anxiety rises, it's a sign telling you come back to now. Think about how often you get lost daydreaming about the future or obsessing over past mistakes. Pain and anxiety yank you out of the present, but they also give you a chancean invitation to wake up. Because only here, only now, is where peace really lives. The Stoics told us that suffering isn't caused by life itself, but by our judgment of life. If you learn to sit with your pain without fighting it or fleeing, you grow stronger. How? By shifting your focus to the sensation of your breath, the sounds around you, the feel of your body. Pain loses its power when you stop resisting. It's like riding a wave. You can't fight against it forever, but if you ride it, it carries you to shore. Turning pain into presence means transforming anxiety from a monster into a teacher, a signal that your mind has wandered, an alert that forces you back to the now. Epictetus said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish." Embracing discomfort, even humiliation, is part of the growth process. The more you accept pain as necessary, the less power it holds over you. Without fear, anxiety dissipates. Here's how. The next time anxiety strikes, don't run. Sit with it. Focus on your breath. Feel your feet on the ground, the texture of your clothes. Quietly remind yourself, I am here. I am present. This feeling is temporary. This simple act rewires your brain, pulls you out of spirals and back into peace. Pain becomes presence. Presence becomes power. And power becomes freedom. You don't need to wait for life to be easy or safe. You craft that safety by being fully here now. That's the final Stoic law to conquer anxiety. Turn pain into presence. When you do, you find true peace, not by avoiding hardship but by harnessing it. Drop in the comments if you're ready to turn pain into power. I turn pain into presence. You've already taken the first steps toward mastering your mind in a world that never stops yelling. Remember, these 5 laws aren't quick fixes, they are lifelong practices. Each one is a tool to reclaim your peace. You don't need to wait for the world to change or for anxiety to vanish. You can begin today right where you are. Start small, be patient, and keep coming back. Because true peace isn't out there, it's built inside you. The Stoics remind us that life is unpredictable, but your mind doesn't have to be. You can become the calm in the chaos, the stillness in the noise, the strength in the storm. If you commit to these laws, you'll discover a resilience that anxiety can never touch. Thank you for watching. If this resonated, like the video, comment your favorite law or affirmation below, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more practical wisdom. Your peace is worth fighting for, and now you have the tools to do it. Drop a comment to seal your commitment. I am the calm in the chaos. I master my mind.